Hello, our dear guests. We are with you again with a new Behind the Window episode. The machine we will talk about today with our technical service chief, Mr. Vasfi, is the SK500 automatic slicing and drilling machine. Hello, Mr. Vasfi.
Hi, Mr. Eri.
First of all, I would like to make a brief introduction of the machine, Mr. Vasfi. Then, after the presentation is over, you can make a demo cut and give information about the screen according to our program.
It's okay, you start to explain the general features, then we'll continue together.
First of all, I want to talk about the mechanical structure. As you can see, the main body of our machine is completely made of steel construction. The additional support conveyor of 2.5 meters that we provided with the machine was also formed in a steel and aluminum structure. Then I want to talk about the body. The body, especially the structure with the cutting group, as you can see, is extruded material, welded and then processed as a single piece on CNC benches. And after the rail and trailer group and other steel materials are mounted on it. And it is mounted on a structure made of DKP sheet metal. Thus, dynamic and static loads are provided in a balanced way. What we use on the machine, first of all, what does our machine do? I want to talk about this. Mr. Vasfi, it is a machine that allows automatic cutting of aluminum and PVC profiles, single or multiple, with a saw with a diameter of 500 millimeters. Our SK500 model only performs the cutting operation, while our SK500D model also performs the drilling operation along with the cutting operation. Together with the machine, we supply the saw, which consists of 120 carbide tips with a diameter of 500 millimeters. The saw we mounted on this is generally mounted in order to cut aluminum and PVC profiles to cut in series. However, we recommend our customers who want to cut solid material to install the saw with sparse teeth and more open channels. They can do this themselves.
Of course, this is a situation that our customers can change and decide on their own, according to the material they use, to use it as a more frequent tooth saw or sparse tooth saw, but we ship it as standard with a 120 tooth, carbide-tipped saw that can cut profile materials.
Yes. I want to talk about the components on the machine, with your permission, Mr. Vasfi. There are 6 clamps on the machine. 3 horizontal, 1, 2 and 3, and 3 vertical vices. According to the width and height of the profile, the operator adjusts it with the screws here before starting the cutting process, and during the cutting process, these clamps work completely automatically, according to the information coming from the program.
Likewise, the support rollers on the conveyor can be adjusted according to the profile.
Very true. The support rollers you see here are manually adjusted and tightened once at the beginning according to the width of the profile. For our customers who want longer profiles, we optionally supply these conveyors with an additional conveyor of 2.5 meters in length, that is, a conveyor of 2.5 meters in length both at the entrance and at the exit.
With the conveyor we provide as a standard, it can cut profiles with 6 meters length very easily, but since some extrusion profiles can be 10 to 12 meters, an additional conveyor can be purchased optionally if desired.
We are able to supply very accurate.
Well, what is the automation system of the machine? Let's talk a little bit about it.
On the machine, actually I'll finish the mechanics. Mr. Vasfi, let's move on to the automation part later. We talked about 6 clamps, we talked about the saw. I would like to talk about some mechanical features on the machine, Mr. Vasfi. You know the surface quality on the profile is very important after the cutting process. There are some technical features on the machine in order to prevent surface scratches during this cutting. I want to talk about them. There's a pneumatic mechanism you see here. It consists of a roller and a pneumatic piston. This mechanism prevents friction on the table while the profile is being driven, allowing it to go on a roller. Yes. As you can see, the profile moves on the roller when the piston is up. During the cutting process, the piston goes down and the profile is placed on this table, and the cutting process is done in this way.
In other words, this ensures that the profile is not scratched while driving when there is a chip accumulation on the table and so on.
Yes, it keeps surfaces clean.
In the same way, after the saw cutting is completed, our tables are open to the side. Let's explain it, and then I'll show it.
Again, during cutting, the saw goes down after cutting to prevent scratches on the cutting surface caused by the saw, and this table moves and opens.
Here first the table opens to the side and then the saw goes down.
Yes, this mechanism moves the cut piece away from the saw surface.
This both contributes to the life of the saw and ensures that the surface of the part is clean.
It is very true. We will show the surface quality during the cutting, that is, during the demo. These two mechanisms are important. Besides, there is a mechanism here again, as you can see. As you can see, this mechanism is pneumatically configured in order to prevent scratches that may occur on this surface during the back and forth movement of this carrier group. Here, too, there is a general mechanical and pneumatic structure. This is a very important feature. So let's talk about that too. Yes, as you can see, for the safety of the operator, the cover works pneumatically. During automatic cutting, this cover is closed automatically and cannot be opened by the operator before the cutting process is finished. In addition, the material seen on the cover is also a special material. It keeps the part inside in case of any damage that may occur on the cover during any part ejection, and it definitely prevents the part from going out. This is polycarbonate material instead of acrylic material in accordance with CE. This is a very important feature.
By the way, don't get me wrong. There is no such thing as fragment ejection in this machine, but in case of an extra breakage etc., the material is designed in accordance with CE standards.
It's a polycarbonate material, which is a very important feature. Again, the trailers and rails we use in the machine are materials of very high quality and sensitivity. We use either Highwind or THK trailers and rails in the movement mechanisms of our machines. In addition, the materials we use in pneumatics are mostly Festo materials. The electrical switchgear materials we use in the electrical cabinet are also German Schneider brand products. Automation is a very important group, as you ask. We also use Japanese origin Yaskawa automation products in this machine. Some of the motors we use on the machine are both asynchronous and servo motors. The motor we use for cutting is a 4 kilowatt asynchronous motor. Yes, 4 kilowatts is quite a sufficient capacity, Mr. Vasfi. It can certainly cut the solid materials very easily.
More than enough.
The motors we use as servos are the motor we use in the profile driving mechanism, the servo motor. This provides high sensitivity. In other words, it ensures the correct positioning of the profile in the X direction. Again, in the Y direction, there is the servo piston that we use in the whole drilling group and that we use in the mechanism. This, together with the servo motor in the X and Y directions, ensures that the drilling position is very precise.
Speaking of drilling, our standard model is the SK500. The model with hole drilling feature is the SK500D. If you want, tell us about the hole drilling unit.
There is also an asynchronous motor in the drilling unit. Let's show it from above. If you want, let's close the cover.
Hands off, please.
All right. We supply this drilling group you see with the SK500D model. There is an asynchronous motor inside this cabinet, and this motor works during drilling. Let's open the cover.
Let's come back. As you just mentioned, it does its thing and its movement in Y by means of the servo piston.
Yes, servo piston. Along with the machine, we supply a drill. It is supplied with a drill attached. Our hole drilling measurement can be done by inserting drill bits in various thicknesses between 5 mm diameter and 10 mm.
Well, let's tell what the stroke of the hole drilling is.
All right. From the surface we see, we can drill the holes we want in the Y direction, single or multiple, up to a distance of 100 mm from the zero surface.
Well, let's also say that we do not have any restrictions on the number of holes.
Absolutely.
Holes can be drilled on the part as desired, in the Y-axis 100 mm, within 100 mm limits, on the X-axis infinitely.
We can repeat this endlessly.
If you want the cutting capacity, let's talk about the minimum, maximum cutting dimensions when we say capacity.
You touched on a very good topic, which is a very important feature. Our clamps can be opened up to 370 millimeters. In other words, we can connect a profile with a width of 370 millimeters. In height, our limit is 160 millimeters from this table. In other words, we can connect a profile with a height of 160 millimeters and a width of 370 millimeters here. According to the cutting diagram, the operator can check whether the machine has cut the profile before connecting it with a 500 millimeter saw.
When this connected part is square or rectangular, it reacts differently according to the cutting diagram. When the round billet is a material, it shows a different reaction. Therefore, it should be checked from the cutting diagram whether it can be cut or not.
We definitely recommend connecting it after checking it in the cut diagram.
Let's talk about the minimum. Minimum cutting.
Our minimum cutting measurement is 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters.
No, it is as profile dimensions. The minimum piece we can cut is 5 millimeters. The maximum has no limit.
Yes, it is correct as cut length. The minimum piece we can cut is 5 millimeters. After saving this channel, you can cut the size.
Yes, that's 5 millimeters too.
But the maximum, the size we can cut in one go is 1000 millimeters in one go. But since there is a repeating feature here, we can cut the exact size we want.
If desired, it can be cut as 9 meters.
If desired, cutting can be done in 9 meters. Yes, of course, there is some information about the screen. In these matters, you will give information about this program, Mr. Vasfi. Besides, what do you think? Let's do a demo. If you don't have any other information to add, I say let's go to demo mode.
It's like, if there's something we missed, which I don't think is, we can take the questions in the QVEA section, we can still answer there.
Let me say one more thing. Together with the machine, we give a tunnel from here to prevent the operator's hand. It is also seen here. We're extending this part so that the operator can't put his hand inside, which is very important.
We did not install the tunnel for the moment so that the camera can see the cut clearly while we shoot a little later. However, this tunnel is supplied as standard with the machine, both on the left exit side of the machine and on the conveyor entrance side.
True, we give it as a standard. Yes, if you don't have anything else to add, I say let's go to the demo mode.
Yes, if you want to enter the values on the screen, let's do a demo, cut, then continue again.
Let's show the piece we cut to our guests.
Of course.
Let them see the cutting quality. Yes, we can start demo mode.
After entering the values on the screen, we connect our profile.
What are we entering on the screen? Can you tell them?
I will tell them. Let me connect the profile now. After entering the values on the screen, we close the lid. And we press the start button. The machine first performs a surface cleaning on the profile. After that, it will drill holes according to the coordinates we entered. This was normal cutting, and we'll show you a version with drilling a little later. Imagine this is the SK500.
Yes, only the cut feature is working at the moment.
The machine is only cutting right now. I'm stopping the machine now. I will also show with drilling.
I think we are switching to a different program here.
True. Let's get the pieces you cut then, shall we?
As you can see, we obtain a very high quality cutting surface due to the feature on the machine. There are no saw marks or cut marks on the surface.
Now I'm connecting the part again.
This was just the cutting feature. Now Mr. Vasfi will also show the drilling feature.
Now I have reconnected the piece. Let's get this piece from here. Close the lid again. Close the lid. When I start it again, it cleans the surface of the part in the same way every time at the first start. Now it has zeroed itself according to the hole coordinate. It will drill holes right now. I drilled 2 holes on the piece. Of course, as we just mentioned, holes are limitless. We can add as many drilling processes and holes as you want. In the meantime, we can adjust the depth of the drill, etc., from the back side of the whole unit. Now look, first the machine drilled the holes, now it's making the cut. Now it will drill the hole for the next material again. This process continues automatically until either the number we enter on the screen is completed or the profile size that we have connected to the machine is completed. Would you like me to stop again? Look this way.
Yes. Pretty good, it drilled our holes.
Here, for example, let's show things again, here, as different materials, for example, accessories used by furniture makers such as furniture, sari, kitchen cabinet handles, etc. Here again, corner wedges are cut for profiles in various sizes. Here, a hole was drilled and cut in a different material. In other words, we can do all cutting and drilling operations in aluminum, hard plastic and PVC style.
It is a machine that can be easily used for cutting and making holes for various purposes, not only in doors and windows, but also in many sectors. Well, Mr. Vasfi, we also made our demo, thank you.
Let's say the thing, finally, we talked about it a while ago, either until the number we entered on the screen is completed or until the profile size is finished. Our 2 mutual sensors here detect that the profile length is over. The sensor realizes that the profile length is over, stops automatically when it is finished, and gives a warning on the screen that the profile is complete. The operator either connects a new profile and continues, or if the number he has already entered is completed, the process is finished.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Vasfi.
Thank you.
It was a pretty nice, useful demo. I think you will give some information about the screen soon. Then we will move on to the question and answer part. We will answer questions from our esteemed guests there.
If you want, let's talk about our screen very briefly. We can cut in 2 different modes on the screen, that is, in 2 different modes on the machine. One of them is the regular cut. There is a screen where we manually enter all the values, the hole coordinates and the cutting dimensions, and the height at which the saw will emerge. This is the regular cut. In addition, we have a cutting mode from the list. In the cutting mode from the list, the CSV cutting list created on the computer can be transferred to the machine with a USB flash memory, and all values can be cut from the list. If you want, I will briefly talk about the normal section by entering the values immediately. What did we cut in the demo? Where did we enter those values here? We said that we will make the cutting length 50 mm. It can be seen here the saws will go up to 65 mm high, then our table will go down after the saw finishes the cutting process, after the table is open to both sides. However, our hole drilling is also active. Here, I stated that we wanted to cut 100 pieces, we wrote. However, we will cut a single piece. Let me also say this, by the way, this machine can also make linked cut here, too. It counts the cuts. After entering all these values together with the hole coordinates on our screen, we close our clamps and press start from here, and we perform the cutting process that you have just seen in the demo. This process continues automatically until either the piece we entered here is completed or the piece length is completed.
After giving you general information about the machine, we have transferred our demo cutting process and information about the screen to you. In the meantime, some questions may have arisen in your mind. We will take them from you in the question and answer section, and we will answer them. See you in the next section.